night at Busch Stadium. It is the second of 3 against the Mets. We have the pregame show starting at 5:50 right here on 104.1 FM KMOX and the Odyssey app. First pitch 6:45. So you're going to want to listen to the station all day. You've got us, Glover, the Redbird Rush Hour show at 5, pregame, and then Cardinals baseball tonight.
Yeah.
So, Amy, we were sitting here trying to do a good show for once. We were trying to do a show, trying to help people pass their time, maybe teach them a thing or two.
Yeah.
And we were broken into by the newsroom. The newsroom busted the door open, came in, sat down, and said, "We have an Amber Alert," and described exactly what was going on. And we were, oh gosh, it sounded horrible.
Yeah, and
it was a car that was stolen, and there was a child in the back seat, and we were, feeling like we have to find this kid. Amy,
yeah,
there was no kid.
So there were signs. There were signs that there was no kid, and I was in the middle of this show. And so, as you know, you're preparing for guests and topics, and there's always a lot going on in radio. I love the human element of radio, but it also means that maybe you're juggling a few things in your brain. But as you mentioned, Megan Lynch came in with the breaking news for the Amber Alert about a child in South St. Louis County who had been abducted. And then she came in again with another update that was really quite horrifying. And that is that a car was stolen. There was a 5-year-old child in the car. The update was they found the car, but not the child. And of course, that is when you just start thinking the worst, and you're praying that they find this kid. But there were some interesting facts that were coming out on the news. One is the woman who claimed that this 5-year-old girl was abducted said, well, we don't have any pictures of her because she just came into my custody. Like we just, started, fostering her. So we don't have any pictures of her yet. And I remember saying,
seems legit.
I said to you guys, I go, what kind of life does this child have that there are no pictures of her? And I'm also thinking they have phones. So even if they just did they get the child the day of, and that's why they didn't take a picture? They don't have any pictures of her. And then also maybe the family, they can't reach out to the family doesn't have any pictures of her. It seemed really odd, but you never know people's lives. I thought, okay, well, that's weird. And then it was reported that the child was 2 feet 5 inches tall and 60 pounds. And I said it out loud in the studio. I looked up at the TV and I saw her measurements are not measurements, but her weight and height. And I went, 2 feet 5 inches. And I thought, that is terribly small for a 5-year-old. It is actually shorter than the average height of a 2-year-old, 2 feet 5 inches. The average 2-year-old is between 2 feet 6 inches and like 2 feet 11 inches.
So I have to tell you.
Yeah.
Didn't think twice about it. Just because I don't know how.
You're not around babies.
I don't know how long a baby is.
I know.
How long is a 5-year-old? Is 2.5 feet, right?
Think of it this way. Haven't you heard of babies being born and they're 20 inches long? That's almost 2 feet when they're born.
Wait, that can happen when you're born? You can be a 2-foot baby? A 2-foot baby?
You're not 2 feet, but I think you can be 20 inches long, 21 inches.
I know that 10 pounds is a lot.
It's a big baby. Yes. But when babies are born, you can Google it right now. You'll see those numbers in inches. So all I knew, I thought 2 feet 5 inches. And then I saw 60 pounds. And we're doing our show. And
I didn't see the 60 pounds thing at the time.
We're doing our show. So of course, I am not going to start throwing weird doubts or question marks when there's an active Amber Alert. I would never do that. But in my head, I'm thinking, I think she reported an Oompa Loompa. That's what I thought.
It's like a Pokemon. We're looking for a Pokemon.
And so I don't know if that was one of the red flags where the cops started asking, are you sure this child is only 2 feet tall and weighs 60 pounds?
Well, here's maybe the best thing about it, okay? Because look, this is a tremendous waste of resources. This woman and her roommate they're in serious trouble. And they're going to face some charges for filing a false report.
Yeah.
But the speculation from Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr of the police department, who says, I'm not sure if they thought they would get a better response for a stolen vehicle. That's why they said there was a child in the back seat. That's just speculation.
Yeah.
So this person, let's go ahead and accept the fact that she said, my car has been stolen. The only way I can get a quick response, because otherwise the police would just say, yeah, well, we'll let you know if we find anything. The only way I can get a good response is if I tell them there's a baby in the back seat. And then maybe they will look harder for that vehicle. And I don't know if that is, I think maybe it's sad on multiple levels that this woman resorted to this, but also felt like she had to resort to it too.
Well, no. She's an idiot. She's an idiot, and
Well,
she's
yes,
cruel,
but-
because the police officer also brought up, do you know how badly this traumatizes people who have had kids abducted or have lived through something like this? I'm sorry, I can't give
No,
her.
the point that I'm not defending her. The point I'm making is if your car is stolen, there seems to be sort of a nonchalant attitude, like, well, that happens, and if we find it, we'll let you know. But it's a pretty big deal to have your car stolen. I had a friend 8 or 9 years ago in Soulard, had his car stolen, and they found it ultimately, and he was driving it. Once he got it back, it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, they found it abandoned, and it was okay to drive. So he's in his car, and he had it for about a week. And then he had some friends get in the back seat of the car. And one of them said, hey, Nick, and looked down, and there was a gun just laying on the floor in the back seat. So he brought the gun to the police station and said, yeah, this was in the car that was just stolen, and you found it for us. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah. They just grabbed the gun.
Well,
there's a very nonchalant attitude about it.
You don't say there's a stolen.
Of course not, Amy.
Child.
The point I'm making is that people feel like if their vehicle's stolen, that there's not going to be a proper response to try and get it back.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But here's the thing. People get cars stolen, yes. I had a friend held at gunpoint and robbed, and the police asked, did you get hurt? No. And like, okay, there's nothing we can do about it. Sorry.
Yeah.
He got held at gunpoint and robbed at his home, but there's just too much going on. He did not say yes, but they also stole my child. Like, you can still make good decisions. And I think it's so, here's the thing too, which is kind of interesting. The car really was stolen, as you mentioned. That's the real part. And shortly after it was stolen, maybe a few hours, the police found the car abandoned. And I wonder if the guy that stole the car gets the Amber Alert. Is like, there's a kid in here, and then doesn't see the kid and is thinking, now I'm going to be charged with child abduction.
Because they found the car?
No, I wonder if he abandoned the car early because he got the Amber Alert.
Oh.
If you
okay.
stole a car
I see what you're saying.
and you get an Amber Alert, I'm sure he had a phone. Everybody has a phone. And he gets the Amber Alert, or he hears on the radio, here's the description of the car, and it's the car that you've just stolen. And you're thinking, they're going to get me for child abduction. And even if they don't find the kid, how are they going to believe that I didn't do something with the kid? Do you think that person abandoned the car early?
That's a great question.
Because that's a big charge, uptick in charges if you steal a kid.
I might do if you steal a kid. Like, whoa, it's just a car. No.
I wonder,
no.
I mean, seriously, I wonder if he abandoned the car early because he thought, holy cow, I wasn't in for this.
Yeah, that's a great point. That might have happened.
Because if you have a phone, you got that alert.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Everybody, I think we all got it at the exact same time.
He reads it, and it's the car he's driving.
Wait,
what?
Brown Ford. Oh my God, that's me.
Yeah.
Never mind. I will see you later.
Robert said maybe Robert watching on YouTube, maybe the guy that took the car heard the Amber Alert on KMOX.
Well, you should be listening to KMOX at all time for any future Amber Alerts and weather issues and Cardinals baseball live on the Odyssey app.
That's right. Also, you should be listening if you want to learn about the Only facial, because I got a facial a couple of weeks ago, and I can't wait to go back. I guess it's 3 weeks ago now. I'm going back in the first week of April. I was kind of intimidated with what to do to take care of my skin, especially the skin on my face. I'm in my 40s. It's a big deal now. Weird things are showing up like wrinkles and sunspots, but I've been overwhelmed by the process. Here's what you need to do. Go to theonlyfacial.com. Theonlyfacial.com. There's a location near you: University City, De Pere, Clayton, Sunset Hills, Frontenac, Creve Coeur, the streets of St. Charles. It is so easy to book your appointment. They take care of all the steps, whether it's dermaplaning or microdermabrasion. They go through the process each time so you can really start to see results month after month. And each facial is only $125. That includes gratuity, so you don't have to worry about the stress of tipping or are they going to try to sell you products? No, they don't sell products. They look at your skin, they adjust to your skin's needs, and then they go through all the steps. The Only Facial, I can't wait to go back. My skin was glowing. Theonlyfacial.com.
The NFL offseason is here, but the action never stops. The draft is right around the corner, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hanzus and Mark Sessler is your pro football destination. Prospects, team needs, and pick-by-pick coverage of draft weekend.
Heed the Call covers all things NFL, and we have fun. No fake hot takes or boring data dumps here. Just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
So come hang out with the Heed the Call heroes for football news, analysis, and mirth. All the mirth. Follow and listen to the Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
72 degrees, sunny, windy, and very warm. We could approach the record high of 87. That was set back in 1981. A high right around 85 right now. Cloudy and warm tonight with a couple of strong thunderstorms. Could bring hail and damaging winds, a low of 61. Weather brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
As we mentioned earlier, St. Charles County, specifically the St. Charles County Council, voted and approved the ICE partnership. Now, this would be St. Charles County police officers, select number of officers would have specialized training and then have the ability to determine the immigration status of individuals and handle detainers, saying instead of bringing ICE to St. Charles, can we form an official partnership with ICE, and several of our police officers will be specially trained to do some of those duties. And St. Charles County Council also emphasized that the region has partnered with other federal agencies like the FBI and the ATF and so forth. But it was a pretty controversial topic here in St. Charles, and Megan Lynch on Total Information AM spoke with St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman this morning.
First question here, as you consider this, is there a significant issue with illegal immigrants committing crimes in St. Charles County?
Well, any given day, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 30 illegal immigrants in our jail. And as soon as they get there, we call ICE. ICE tells us to call when they're either acquitted or complete their sentence. And the problem with that, of course, is every day they're in our jail, it costs taxpayers $188 million. So that's the extent of the problem. The most recent problem, though, and of course, we probably average 3 or 4 murders a year in St. Charles County, unlike certain other jurisdictions in the region. And our first one this year was in Lake St. Louis. The victim was here illegally, and the suspect, which we're pursuing, we think is already back in Mexico. He was undocumented as well. So is it a problem? Yes. Is it as big a problem here as some other places? No.
Again, that was St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman. And Ranj, I can hear arguments on both sides of this issue. I know that Mike Elam had been on KMOX saying, and Mike Elam out in St. Charles County, saying that this partnership actually keeps ICE out of St. Charles, in the sense that if you have local law enforcement and you have several select and trained police officers who have this capability, then ICE doesn't need to come to St. Charles. And like I said, I can hear a really good argument on how that would be better, because you have police officers who are in the community, who are familiar with the community, who probably, as a police officer, have some investment in the community, versus an ICE officers, some of whom were hastily trained. Some were veterans. There are some who've been there because ICE has existed for a while, but some who were hastily trained.
A lot were.
Yes, a lot were hastily trained, coming to a community who they have no investment here.
Right.
They don't care about St. Charles. So on one side, I can see how this would be a positive. On the other side, I can see how it would be a negative, because does it sow distrust between the community and local law enforcement? And is it really needed? Was ICE going to come to St. Charles anyway? Or is this addressing an issue that is not an issue? Like ICE wasn't coming to St. Charles. Like
a solution that's in search of a problem kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the intent of this is. I don't know if it's to signal to ICE, hey, just don't come here because we don't want the trouble that you've been causing around the country. If it is that, and if this is some sort of eyewash to keep that away, to keep the federal government happy so that they don't show up and start terrorizing people, then yeah, I can get down with that, because that's what ICE has been doing around the country. Yeah, I'm sure they've gotten some actual illegal criminals, violent criminals, because they told us, remember, worst of the worst. That's what they said. That's what the president said over and over again. And that's not really what has played out. We've talked about Janie Perez and, her husband and everything they have gone through here. And they're off to Mexico because he was deported and was not a criminal. He wasn't a violent criminal. He was living his life, supporting his family. And so now an entire family has just left the country. And we don't want more of that. So if St. Charles is saying, hey, ICE, stay out of here, we got it, then I'm okay with that, if that's what it is. But if local law enforcement is just going to take the place of ICE and start going up to people and saying, hey, you look brown, maybe are you supposed to be here? You have an accent. Where are you from? We're going to start doing all that kind of stuff. I'm not on board with it. And I understand why citizens out there, my understanding is that there were quite a few people who were objecting to that vote before it happened who spoke out against it. And I wasn't at the council meeting myself, but I think there was a lot of objection from the citizens out there. And that's what people don't want. They don't want law enforcement just randomly racially profiling somebody, looking at them and saying, hey, you don't look like you're from around here. Show me your papers. And as long as they're not going to start doing that, then fine.
Yeah. And Ranj, this is where I know we were saying yesterday we disagree on things, and it can be difficult because it sounds like we agree so much because Trump will take all the oxygen out of the room and we don't talk about other things. But this is where I think we know 74% going into the 2024 election, 74% of Americans, including Democrats, independents, Republicans, were concerned about illegal immigration, concerned about the border. So it was a valid issue, and Trump often identifies valid issues, but then it's the execution. And what I've seen is a flaw in the execution of immigration and illegal immigrants with Trump, like we said, not going after the worst first, like he said, but tearing families apart, and also just trying to get the numbers, creating a scene, creating a spectacle, operating on fear and intimidation. On the other side of things, you do have sanctuary cities like San Francisco and New York. And I also disagree with that in the sense that in a sanctuary city, their New York policy means it will ignore ICE detainers. So even if someone has a violent offense, someone has been arrested for a violent crime, New York won't necessarily deport that person. That would be the worst first that they're not getting rid of. That's why we saw a couple days ago there was an illegal immigrant who shoved an old man onto the subway tracks in New York, right? Well, this would be one of the worst first because he had been arrested for 15 other felonies. Why was he still in New York? So I think people see that extreme. And then over on the ICE side, they see the extreme of ripping families apart for people who aren't criminals. And I'm thinking, this isn't being addressed at all. The issue is not being fixed at all.
That's correct.
Either you have these cities like New York where violent criminals who also are illegal immigrants are walking around, or you have what we have here in Chesterfield or in St. Louis, where families and law-abiding citizens are being ripped apart because we, in the United States, had an unclear and faulty policy 20 years ago.
Right. And we did have a bipartisan border bill 2 years ago, which could have gone a long way to helping out the issue. And it was killed. It was killed by this president who was wanting to run on the issue and said, don't pass this. And Republicans killed it. Victor is watching on YouTube and says, speak for yourself when you say we. That only means yourself. Wrong. That's wrong, Victor, because 2/3 of Americans think ICE has gone too far in the way they've operated. 2/3 of Americans. That is way more than the majority. So, yes, go get the violent criminals. Go get people who commit violent crimes and hurt other people and get them out of the country. But people who are like the Perez family, just living life and going to work and providing for kids, those are not the kind of people that we should be moving out of the country. And it's a shame that we have gotten to that place. We'll see what happens, and we'll be following along any developments that take place in St. Charles. When we come back, we are going to talk to a Washington University student who rode the entire Metrolink. Matt Eisner is the managing sports editor at their student newspaper, The Student Life, and he did a really fun thing. And we are going to talk to him when we come back on 104.1 FM KMOX. And this is I think I've been saying this, it feels like every single week, that this is a great time of year for sports. And it is. We are getting close to the end of the college basketball season. Baseball season has started. Hockey, professional basketball is all going on. And FanDuel right now, if you're a customer, you can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. This is how it works. You place any bet with FanDuel using your bet reset token, and if it does not win, you're going to get up to $300 back in bonus bets. That's every single day for 10 straight days. All you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri and sign up today. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. tokens received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m., and I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
71 degrees, sunny and windy today. We could hit the high temperature of 87. Right now, we're looking at a high of 85. Thunderstorms could roll in tonight with hail and damaging winds, a low of 62.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tonight, the Cards, the Mets.
Cameron Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is a Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and my God, who hasn't wanted to ride the Metrolink from coast to coast? I think we've all wanted to do it. Well, one enterprising college student decided to do it for himself. We are now joined by Matt Eisner, who is a student at Washington University here in St. Louis, also happens to be the managing sports editor for Student Life, which is the student-run newspaper. Matt, we appreciate your time this morning. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
So why did you decide to do all that? And tell us exactly what you did. You wrote it from one end of the earth to the other.
Exactly. Yeah, around the world. Yeah. So we have an edition every single year called Best of St. Louis, where we, there's a lot of students on campus, including myself, who come from other parts of the country. And we're trying to highlight parts about the city that, our writers, our editors kind of really like to explore, and also kind of uncover some, I guess, hidden secrets about St. Louis. We needed more content for that big magazine, about 40 pages. So we need a bunch of articles. And I was like, I got a stupid idea. I like trains, like, why not? Like it kind of came to me one day. And then next thing I knew, I'm sitting on a Metrolink car for about 3 hours and kind of seeing it all the way from Shrewsbury down to Shiloh Scott out in Illinois. So it was a fun experience, a little bit pointless, but I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I was driving east on 64 a couple of weeks ago, and I guess I had forgotten that train goes all the way out to Scott Air Force Base, because that's a pretty long distance from St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's funny. It gets so rural. And it's almost like you're on an Amtrak train. Did I accidentally get on the train to Chicago? Because, you get to a certain point and it's like it's just you and cornfields. Like it's crazy. I wasn't expecting it.
That's wild. Were there many other people on the train with you going out to Scott Air Force Base?
No. So I was going on a Sunday morning. I'm assuming that, most people taking it all the way out there, either a business at the Air Force Base or working there. So no one during the weekend, was going out there. I think I might have been the only person who went the whole way.
I mean, you would have to be.
I mean, yeah, maybe you could go Monday through Friday, maybe pick up, a few other passengers, but I'm from St. Louis. I live in St. Louis. I remember when they built the Metrolink, and I was little, and my grandparents said, let's ride this new train for fun. And to be honest, it was like kind of sketchy then. And I will say, as a St. Louisan, I feel unsafe on the Metrolink when it's not being used to go to a baseball game or a hockey game. And I have told people who come in town, oh, yeah, don't take the Metrolink, just drive or Uber. And I may be wrong in that, but I will say, we know we've had safety issues. Was that a preconceived notion you had or didn't have? And what was your experience riding the train?
Yeah, I think I've heard that before. And, there have been times where I've been taking it outside of the peak hours where maybe, there have been some sketchy characters on board. But honestly, during my whole journey, I didn't experience that. And I don't think that, especially for students who, the article that I initially wrote was targeted towards, I think that there's like the benefit of having the train in, like, it goes right to campus. You're able to take it to a lot of places. I think that those benefits are really, they're really helpful. And it's really nice to know that you can go, kind of anywhere in the region. And I think that, my point was trying to dispel some of those notions. And I think that my experience proves that, obviously, there are times during at night maybe where it's a little bit less safe, but honestly, I didn't have any problems. And I think that, I know that's just my experience. But I'm hopeful that, maybe people, especially in the WashU community, kind of read my article and were like, okay, maybe I'll give it a try, and kind of give out, the public transportation system here it's good. And I think that people, I sleep on it a little bit.
Matt, where exactly are you from originally?
Yeah, so I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
So I came out here for college.
So just from an outsider's perspective, you come to WashU from somewhere else. We have had this conversation before about, does a city need robust public transportation to attract people? Or do we wait until we've attracted people first and then build the robust public transportation? So coming from the outside, how would you view that?
That's a good question. I think that to be kind of, St. Louis has such a robust history of having public transportation throughout, the 1920s with the streetcars. I live on the Del Mar Loop, and it's literally named after the streetcars, the streetcar loop that used to be here. I think that public transportation is something that American cities have kind of underinvested in throughout history, and it might be. I think that it's really important that people have ways to get around without needing to drive. I'm from close to Washington D.C., and we have there's a pretty big metro system there, and it's so helpful to get to sporting events or concerts or to work. People rely on it, and I think that if the system was more robust, if there was more connectivity to different parts of St. Louis, people would start using the Metrolink for reasons other than getting to a Cardinals game or a Blues game. Because besides those, I guess besides those purposes, there aren't a lot of times the Metro kind of goes empty, and I think that city leaders kind of have to make that proactive investment in public transportation to make it effective before people start to trust it, and I guess regain its trust. And start using it to a greater extent.
And as you mentioned, you can expand public transit and transportation, but it also has to be executed well. And for a long time, the Metrolink didn't have turnstiles. And so people could just hop on and ride and not care versus people who were really using the Metrolink to get to work. So my question is, did you run into some stations with the new turnstiles and some without turnstiles?
Yeah, honestly, every station I saw and I, got on and off at, they all were using the new turnstiles, and I think it's a great system. I think that there were some problems with it at the beginning where somebody literally had to buzz you in once you showed your fare to the station attendant. But I think that now you can just swipe in with your ticket. The new fare gates are going to do a lot to make the system, I think, cleaner and safer for the people of St. Louis. And I'm really excited about it. So yeah, the new fare gates seem to be working really well.
We're talking to Matt Eisner, Wash University student. And Matt, you may have seen the story before, rode the Metrolink from one end all the way to the other. Is it now the kind of thing where, first of all, had you ridden it before in any capacity, or was this your very first time on it?
No, I'd ridden it before.
Okay.
Mostly, I would say to get to a Cardinals game or a Blues game, but I'd been on it a couple times.
So after the experience, are you more or less likely to use it more often?
I think I am more likely to use it to get to, I guess, to kind of go to somewhere other than a Cardinals or a Blues game. I'm more likely to use it to explore the city. Or, maybe go to the grocery store or somewhere in Brentwood. I'm more likely to, I would say probably equally as likely, which is very likely, to use it to get to a sporting event.
And I know at Washington University, you're going to have a lot of students from St. Louis and a ton of students not from the area. I don't know if you've talked to people with this purpose in mind, but have you noticed whether or not people from St. Louis are more or less likely to use the Metrolink or talk positively or negatively about it versus students from out of town?
Honestly, students from out of town are more likely to talk negative about it. I think people kind of hear those bad things when they come in, especially if people are coming from places like New York or Chicago, where they have, kind of the best public transportation in the world. Although they do have their problems, the Metrolink kind of gets a bad rap if you're coming from someplace that might have a much larger, more expansive system. And I think that, part of what I was trying to do is, like I said earlier, dispel those narratives and kind of be like, hey, this is a useful system that we have, a useful thing that we have. WashU students get free access with there's a deal between WashU and the Metrolink. So we have we can get a card. So like this is an amenity that we have available on campus that's essentially free. Like why don't we use it more?
Did you get any Metrolink swag? Do they even have any?
I wish, if anyone at the Metrolink is listening, please, I'll take some Metrolink swag, but I didn't. I kind of tried to go undercover and did it, with no fanfare while I was actually going.
I think we should lobby for you.
I think so too. I imagine you've had, like us outside of the campus, you've had a lot of interest in what you did, because it is such a hot button issue. Like I said, I'm from St. Louis, and I don't know, I think the turnstiles are going to go a long way in making it safer. But pre-turnstiles, I mean, there were some major issues on the Metrolink.
Mm-hmm. There were, and the turnstiles, they're quick and they're really good. I'm really excited for them to come into effect pretty soon.
Matt, I forgot. I had one quick question. Did you notice any security guards, armed or not, on the Metrolink?
Oh, I don't think I noticed any security guards. Maybe at the end stations. There were some people who were, I guess, making sure that there was nobody drunk or sleeping on the train. But when we were going, I didn't notice anybody.
When do you graduate, and what do you want to do when you're done?
I graduate in May. Actually, I'm a senior, and I'd like to, go into journalism or communications in some way. So, yeah.
Well, good. We need journalists, so I'm glad you're getting into it, because it seems like nobody has interest anymore. So we need you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'd encourage you to check out Student Life. We put out a lot of good content, and I'm glad that you guys saw this story.
Yeah, for sure. It actually does. I know I was on a show before this one, Charlie Brennan, who's been on for years, and he would always pull stories from Student Life. You guys do good work.
Oh, thank you. That's really great.
Matt Eisner, we appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us. And you are now our Metrolink correspondent.
Yes, that's right.
If we ever need anything, we're coming straight to you.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my resume.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. It's not going to go a long way for you. I mean, but thank you. That is Matt Eisner, student at Wash U, and again, managing sports editor for the Student Life paper at Wash U. That's a really fun idea, and I'm glad he did it. I'm glad somebody did it, because somebody needed to. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me, 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Grave Lee. You can save up to 20% on Grave Lee commercial mowers during the Grave Lee Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Grave Lee dealer today.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let my friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. The work is guaranteed, and it's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. No extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, since 1926, 100 years. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laterman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laterman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laterman Law Firm at latermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, this is not the time for, gee, I hope this works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 7th at the All Financial Group offices. You'll learn how to deal with rising costs, taxes, crazy markets, and the fear of running out of money. The date again is April the 7th. It's complimentary, but you must reserve a seat. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
We've got caller Roger on the line. I hear he has a bone to pick with me. What's up, Roger?
Well, I've always wanted to pick a bone with you, too.
Keep saying you're from St. Louis. Are you from South City, Soulard, the Grove, North Side? Which St. Louis neighborhood are you from?
Oh, that's a great question. I grew up in West County, and then I lived in Dogtown, and then for years, and then off Forest Park, kind of like Clayton Dogtown line right there on McCausland for 12 years. Yeah.
Okay, so mostly county.
Sure, if you want to do that.
Well,
so sorry, what's your point? I'm sorry.
My point is you should be a better ambassador for the city. The Metro, you gave a totally West County privileged, come to city for the baseball, come to city for the baseball games, and maybe go to the doctor opinion of the city. And Metro.
Well, Roger, I appreciate it. I do appreciate for sure. I know city. If you live in the city, it's like I said, it's a close-knit community in South City, just as it was in Dogtown. Feel like privileged is projecting a bit, but that's on you. And I will say this: the MetroLink has gotten safer for sure. The turnstiles have helped because, see, we've had lots of discussions in the past few years with Talby Roach of Bi-State Development. And Talby Roach, the head of Bi-State Development, which runs the MetroLink and the bus system, has openly acknowledged the safety issues and the crime issues they've had on the MetroLink. And they've spent a lot of money making it safer and adding security, because we had to cover the stories of the Marine officer a few years ago who was a security officer at the MetroLink and he was shot in the face and killed. Or a couple of years ago when men were robbed on the MetroLink. A man last year was shot and killed on the MetroLink at the St. Louis station. So that's the thing, Rogers. We cover these stories because we care about the St. Louis community, and they shouldn't have to worry about that. And the MetroLink has gotten better, as we noted in that story, because of the turnstiles and the increased ridership and the increased budget going towards the Metrolink.
To Roger's point, and where I will agree with him, is that there have been things that have happened on the Metrolink. There have been crimes and people have been hurt, obviously, over the years. I think where some people get upset, and they're right to, is that there's this thought that anytime you ride the Metrolink, your life is in grave danger. And it's just not true. I mean, I don't ride it a lot because it's not convenient for me to ride it, because there's no stop where I live. It takes, when I did live anywhere near a stop, it took longer to get to the stop and then get off where I work than it did to just drive to work. So it just wasn't a convenience for me. But I never, when I did ride it, and it wasn't for games, and I rode it one time recently fairly late because I couldn't get an Uber, and I don't know, I didn't feel unsafe on it. But I think there's this perception that every time you get on the thing, your life is in danger, and that's not true. Stuff does happen.
I don't think it has to be your life is in danger. I also just don't want my purse. If you feel like assaulted, you feel like whether it's someone being robbed, like these
even
two
that
men,
too. Like that, like that's not.
Or being heckled.
But it's very unlikely that's going to happen to you riding the train.
Well, and I will say this: I think absolutely an experience, advice that you give to, and I would say this, people may disagree with me, but a woman traveling alone or riding the Metrolink at night versus a man. I know you said you've not felt unsafe, but most men don't assess a parking situation before they go to any party. And most women do. It's just you look at things differently. There's safety in numbers. We know this, which is why the Metrolink alone, if you have more people on the Metrolink, yes, I'm going to feel safer. It's not I'm afraid I'm going to get killed every time. It's just even having numbers brings safety.
Gas prices are up, and they are up significantly going back 3 years even. We're going to talk to Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, when we come back on KMOX.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
It is 10 o'clock. It is partly sunny, windy, 74 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey.
So is it a problem? Yes. Is it as big a problem here as some other places? No.
That's St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman talking about the issue of undocumented immigrants.
Well, any given day, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 30 illegal immigrants in our jail. As soon as they get there, we call ICE.
Last night, the county council unanimously passed a bill that would have local officers work with ICE. Ellman says they've already been doing it, and this would offer additional training to up to 10 of their officers. More than 1,000 letters in opposition were presented to the council from citizens saying police should not be helping with immigration enforcement. The U.S. Supreme Court today struck down Colorado's ban on the use of conversion therapy for gay and transgender minors. CBS News legal analyst Lori Levinson.
There was a challenge by one of the counselors who said that, in fact, she wanted to use such therapy, but the Colorado law would ban it. The Supreme Court said that the ban violated the counselor's First Amendment rights.
The court ruled 8-1, only Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissenting. Michelle Wilson is a registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition. How concerned is she about microplastics getting into our food?
I mean, they're definitely in there. We've been using plastic for quite some time, and it just doesn't break down. It just gets smaller.
Wilson says we're still learning how that affects us.
There's evidence of it can potentially cause cancers and mess with our productive systems, and it's just we're still learning. It's a newer discovery.
Wilson reminds if you're microwaving anything in plastic or styrofoam, that exposure is much higher. Tiger Woods' eyes were bloodshot and glassy, his pupils dilated, and he had hydrocodone pain pills in his pocket when interviewed at his car crash last week in Florida, according to a sheriff's office report. Woods told deputies he'd been looking at his phone and fiddling with the radio before he clipped another truck. From the KMOX business desk, the nation's farmers are reeling from the squeeze of soaring gas prices because of the war in Iran. More from CBS correspondent Lana Zach in Iowa City.
Farmers had hoped that this year they were going to be able to recover from the devastating financial impacts of last year's planting season. Now we hear that diesel is really hurting them.
The average price of diesel right now, $5.78 a gallon. To farmers reeling from the Trump administration's trade policies and the war in Iran, Trump says John Deere and Case should lower their tractor and equipment costs. Deere shares dropped 2% after that. Caterpillar was down 1.2%.
Intervals of clouds and sun, rather windy and quite warm this afternoon with a shower and thunderstorm in some areas. The high 85. The record of 87 was set in 1981. A couple of strong thunderstorms around tonight. Any thunderstorm can produce hail and damaging winds. The low 61. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and not as warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, the high 74. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it's windy, partly sunny, and 74 degrees in downtown St. Louis. The weather sponsored by the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's hour 2 of 3. Gas House Gang is at 12. Don't forget, Oliver Marmol, manager of the Cardinals, joins us for the first. Every Tuesday, he will be with us at noon right here on 104.1 FM KMOX. Now we talk to the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. Dave Simons is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Chris and Amy. How are you two?
We are great, except it is really expensive to put gasoline in your vehicle if you have one of those vehicles.
You've noticed this, yes.
Well, yeah. And it's not just that I've noticed it, it has gone up quickly. Within just a matter of weeks, it has gone up a lot. And it's one of those things where you were like, wasn't it just 40 cents cheaper 5 days ago? And then it's even worse than that now.
You know, I just earlier this morning, I went back and tried to remind myself, okay, where was the price of oil at the beginning of the year? So the calendar changes and you almost forget this. It was only $57 a barrel. And today it's in the 104 to 105 range. I mean, we're almost doubling in just one quarter, in 3 months. And when you hear the word unprecedented, that's exactly what's happened. We've seen oil spikes before, but not this dramatically and not so quickly. And when you look at that, two things surprise me: that gas prices aren't up even more because they've come up a lot. And so maybe to your point, Chris, that's what's happening, that gas prices are finally, unfortunately, starting to catch up with the hyperbolic move that we've seen in oil prices. And secondly, that the broader stock market isn't down even more, because if you would have told me oil prices would almost double and we'd be at war in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz would be closed, I'd say, oh my goodness, it's not if we should sell some stocks, how much and how quickly. But just crunching the numbers again today, including today's little increase in the market, we're only down about 6.5% since the war started for the market. And that is pretty normal for geopolitical events. The average decline when these things break out is right about 6%. And that's where we are.
How much of that discrepancy between the gas prices being so high right now and the stock market doing pretty well hinges on the unpredictability of the current administration?
You nailed it, Amy. That's what it is. I mean, we are living, Wall Street is living in a land of tweets and of impromptu comments as the president is boarding, let's say, Air Force One, and all the reporters are there firing away questions at him, and he'll say some things. Look, he is a media savvy person. We know that. That's his whole life. He knows how the game is played. He also knows the power in which he wields. So the two combined, he understands that if I say something about, I think the war is going to be wrapped up in a week, then he knows the market's going to respond in kind. This is a really interesting day because typically what we've seen is very simple. Oil prices go up, that day stocks go down. And the reverse is true. Oil prices go down, we know that stocks are probably going up that day. Well, this is a little bit of a reverse. Both are going up today. Oil is rising again, but stocks are soaring. What the heck? It gets back to what we were just talking about, Donald Trump's comments. He said it's possible to end the war very shortly, but the Strait of Hormuz can stay closed and we'll worry about that later. So he's affected both markets. He's like, oh, the war's going to end? Good. In the stock market, we love that. Oil traders are like, well, wait a minute. A big chunk of oil is still going to be stuck and it's not open. We're bidding up oil prices. This is all Donald Trump today.
So I have been hearing from or reading and listening to some economists talking about stuff that is happening right now and that the market doesn't seem to quite get how dire the situation we're entering is, that people are just kind of going about their business, that some of these indicators out there are showing us that it's if this goes on much longer, it could end up being really bad. Do you see it that way?
It could. Yeah. Well, you are basically parroting what a lot of market strategists are also saying, that, wow, Wall Street right now, as of today, is not really trading as if this thing could fall to go right off the rails. And that's true. And we all hope that, right? We all hope that this thing could be pulled back at an appropriate time and place. However, yes, there is a worst case scenario. I know in our little corner of the world, we have to kind of game plan that with investments in portfolios to say, if we're still talking 6 weeks from now, and we're talking about the fact that the war is still going on and oil's now at 125, the calculus has completely changed at that point. I go from thinking, okay, this is a normal pullback with a geopolitical framework that we're dealing with, to this is worse than normal. And we've probably got a market at that point that's down double digits, heading to a bear market. The odds of a recession now are really great, and it might even cause the Fed to come in and do some emergency action. That is not my base case. I want to be very, very clear. But I have been surprised that the market is not discounting that possibility with a little higher percentage. Right now, they believe this is business as usual compared to past histories, and that this will be wrapped up sooner rather than later. We shall see. I don't think I would trade my portfolio necessarily with such a sunny optimism. I think it's okay to be somewhat defensive here.
It's so interesting as we see the landscape change, and like you said, with this administration, it could change on a moment's notice. But it seems like some of the advice of just hang tight, don't panic, for the most part, seems to be true when it comes to your own personal finances.
That's almost entire. Well, I wouldn't even say almost. Amy, if your goals and objectives are reasonable, no matter where you are in life, no matter if you're 30 years from retirement, you're right on retirement's door, or you're long into that phase of your life, hopefully you put together a solid financial plan that bakes in the possibility and the inevitability of declines. I always tell people this, and this is a great time to remind everyone: when you're putting together a plan, take 20% off your investable assets right now, off your 401k, off your IRA, whatever the value of your investments are. Take 20% off today. Can you? I know that's a punch to the gut and nobody wants it. However, does that materially impact your life? Does that totally change your goals? If you were going to retire next year and all of a sudden you can't, I would tell you that your goals probably weren't that reasonable to begin with. Your portfolio should always be able to withstand that kind of a hit. And even though you don't like it, and it's sticker shock, your goals should still be able to be met longer term, because we know it will come back eventually. But in the interim, does that destroy anything to do with your life? It shouldn't. If it does, you have to reset your goals, or that's where you need to make changes to your portfolio because perhaps you're too aggressive.
Dave Simons is joining us on 104.1 FM KMOX, and he does so pretty much every Monday. Is there anything else that
or Tuesday as well?
Yeah, it is Tuesday, I guess. Is there anything? I have no idea what day it is. Tomorrow, I think, is Friday. Is there anything else that is happening right now? Because, we always talk about how the president can't affect the markets that much, that it can't affect gas prices outside of certain actions, which all seem to be being taken right now. Is there anything else that you see is really affecting markets at the moment?
Yes, a good question. So it's the growing concern now that we've got inflation that will start to seep into economic data, led first by gas prices, but then also some other agricultural products. Because think about this: how many companies, they don't sell gas, they're not a gas supplier, they might be a manufacturer, but they need gas in the trucks that they use. So that's an input cost that they somehow have to then pass on to their own consumers if they can. Now, we've not seen any huge increase in inflation, but that's a concern. Well, if that's the case, get this, let's follow the dominoes there. What does the Fed do when it sees inflation going higher? Oh, everyone talked about us maybe cutting interest rates. Nope. We have to reverse course to try to bring inflation down. So we're going to raise interest rates. This comes get your popcorn ready, because this comes at a very interesting time when we are about, or the Congress is about to confirm, most likely, Trump's Fed pick, Kevin Warsh, who basically has standing instructions from the president. You get in there and you convince those folks to start cutting rates. Now, he may be taking over a Fed that's like, Kevin, no, we need to raise rates. That is going to cause the president to blow his gasket if that occurs. But that's the thing, Chris, you asked about, is there something else that we need to be paying attention to? This is a growing issue if this war were to continue.
And this might be too in the weeds, and I'm not sure if we're seeing the effects of this from AI companies in the market, but the war in Iran is also affecting like helium supplies, and helium is essential for cooling AI chip making tools. I mean, it's like way above my pay grade, but things that I didn't really think about. Oh, helium. Where do we get helium? How important is this? As the war drags on, could that effectively have an impact on AI companies? Or are we kind of too in the weeds at that point?
Well, there are so many things that actually are impacted over there, Amy. And no, that's not in the weeds. It's something, again, that's where I was talking about the domino effect with inflation and then with AI. And this Friday is an important economic data date. That is the March unemployment or jobs number. And speaking of AI, that's been a big concern too, that it's taking more and more jobs. I think at this point it's a little overstated, but we're all watching it carefully. The market is closed Friday for Good Friday, but we're still going to see the unemployment rate. That could be a market changer, which would affect how stocks and bonds trade on Monday. But it's all connected. And that's what the market is just trying to parse through all of this. The Fed, inflation, oil, all these other things that go through the Strait of Hormuz, liquid natural gas, all of this stuff. And therefore, that's why you've got the bond market has been under pressure a little bit lately. Interest rates are already starting to go up. And I guarantee the Trump administration did not bank on that when this all started a month ago.
How much do you know about the helium shortage? Because we know that helium is an ingredient that is used to build microchips, and there are some of these countries that are unable to move the product now. And I read a story last week about MRIs. And if you need an MRI, they say get one in the next 3 months because it could be very difficult after that, which helium is part of that process too. So is that going to end up being a very big economic deal, especially if this continues?
It could. I mean, it's not a product that I really follow that much, but I've probably seen the same stories and headlines that you have. Before all this, the thing that I knew mostly about helium is as a kid going and taking the stuff out of the balloon and having the squeaky high voice. But now it's something we have to pay a lot more attention to. And also the other things that go through the Strait of Hormuz that are getting locked down, that you don't realize that it's 30% of this product, 20% of this product. I mean, all of a sudden, I think a lot of Americans are waking up to the fact that this indeed is a global economy, and that we are requiring a lot from that area to stay open. So I thought it was fascinating. This kind of gets back to the first thing we talked about, and that is Trump saying that, no, he really does want to wrap up this war in the next couple of weeks to keep with his first stated goal of 5 to 6 weeks or so. But that means the Strait of Hormuz, well, we'll deal with that later. And that's why you're seeing oil prices still go up and these other commodity prices, including helium, also rising.
Dave Simons, we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
Dave is the partner and managing director at One Private Wealth, with us every week here on 104.1 FM KMOX. We are on to the Inebriate in our Barch Madness tournament as we try to find the best bar in St. Louis, and you need to participate. Help us get to that Final Four. We'll tell you who's in the matchups next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX, and it's been so since gambling came online here at the beginning of the year. For me, it's been more years beyond that with FanDuel Sportsbook. I love it. I used to have to travel to use it. Now I get to use it here, and it's awesome. And if you haven't joined in yet, right now, new FanDuel customers can get a really great deal. You can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 days. It's a simple thing. So you sign up. Here's how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token, which will be in the app when you log in, and it doesn't win, you will get up to $300 back in bonus bets. So every single day for 10 straight days, that's available to you. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up. And remember, FanDuel is where you get to play your game. You must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day, so restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's game day.
Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. Everyone knows we need to do what we can to protect our eyesight. That includes finding the right eye doctor. For 30 years, I've been recommending the doctor's doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranj Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. I'm one of their patients, and so are my wife, daughter, son, and sister. These doctors and their technicians spend a lot of time with their patients. They're expert at cataracts, multifocal lenses, and light adjustable lenses. And if you're experiencing dry eye, don't hesitate to make that appointment. Dry eye, if not treated properly, can cause harm that's difficult to reverse. For excellent eye care, do what I do. Call the doctor's doctors at 314-966-5000 and visit one of their offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, and Sullivan, and at yourEyeDoc.com.
Hey, St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting. Visit thegelmanteam.com or give them a call at 314-336-1991.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
My God, I can't believe it. We are already at the Inebriate in our Barch Madness tournament. What is the best bar in the St. Louis area? Well, you, the listener, have been voting for the last couple of weeks, and you have gotten us down to the final 8 in our tournament. We whittled it down. We started at 68, Amy. We had a play-in round.
Yep.
And we have moved all the way to the Inebriate.
I know I keep checking the votes here. Some of them are swinging back and forth, but
Yeah.
we need you to vote at Chris Amy KMOX.
At Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter, you will see right at the top where it is pinned, where you can vote. You can see the bracket. Also on the Facebook page on KMOX News Facebook page, you can find us there, and it will send you a link, and the link will send you to Twitter. But we are now with, I think, 4 really good matchups, if you ask me. I think we've done pretty well in this tournament. In the Eberhard-Anheuser region, the #1 seed McGurk's facing the 7 seed Helen Fitzgerald's. McGurk's defeated Seamus McDaniels in the last round. Helen's beat Dukes in Soulard. And so here we are. That is the region final. McGurk's against Helen Fitzgerald. Helen's is, you mentioned this yesterday, it's a Syberg's family.
Syberg family owns it.
Yeah.
That's right. I only know that because with Michael Kelly on Friday, I think he said someone else owned it. And then we had 7 million people text in and say the Sybergs own it.
Okay,
So
well,
that's why
well, you
we
know the
know
people
that.
cannot wait to correct Michael Kelly.
They can't wait to correct anybody.
That's true.
People listen with their phones unlocked and their big thumbs sitting on the keyboard ready to go, you said that wrong.
Well, actually, how many? We got a lot of these people are the biggest actually crowd I've ever seen. In the Adolphus Busch region,
Yeah.
this is a 5 seed versus a 3 seed. It's very, very unusual. Humphreys, as the 5 seed, beat Fast Eddie's in Alton.
Wait, why is it unusual that it's a 5 versus a 3?
Well, you usually don't get that low a seed. Usually there's a 1 or a 2. in a region final like this.
Helen's was a 7.
Helen's was a 7, but they're facing the 1 seed McGurk's.
That's true.
So Humphreys, after beating Fast Eddie's, is taking on Milo's Bocce Garden on the hill, and they defeated Patty O's. So it's Humphreys versus Milo's in the Adolphus Busch region.
Shall we go to the Lemp region?
I would love to.
Number 1 seed Amsterdam Tavern taking on the 11 seed
This is
Tam Ave, and
what a run for Tam.
it's a run for Tam. You guys need to go vote because you might be surprised by some of these numbers we're looking at.
I have to tell you, Tam is doing very well.
They're doing very
in this
well.
tournament.
Very well.
They're having like a is it Florida Gulf Coast? Was that Dunk City?
I don't know.
That was it from like 10 years ago. They're having a great run, like a George Mason kind of run is what they're doing. O.B. Clark's in the Anton Griesedick region. They are the 1 seed. They beat Village Bar. And O.B. Clark's is now facing Broadway Oyster Bar, a St. Louis institution. Broadway Oyster Bar is a 2 seed. And the Bob defeated D's Place in Soulard in the last round.
And I will say it's close. I mean,
It is close.
I think this one's going to be a nail biter because when does our inebriate voting end?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning before the show begins. So we'll have the results on Thursday morning, correct, Amundo?
Yeah, we will have the Frosty 4 Thursday
Are we
morning.
going with Frosty 4? You guys had a couple that we can't say on the radio.
No. We can't go with effed up 4. We're going for, I think Frosty 4 is probably the best one.
Frothy?
Yeah. It feels more like a cappuccino.
I say we go back to Sloppy 4 just because.
The sloppy final.
Because Amy hated it so much.
And then we just go to the sloppy
It's
final.
not the sloppy 16. We can't use that.
It's just, slop is onomatopoetic in the sense that it sounds sloppy.
Yeah, I would.
Say it.
Probably.
Say it.
Sloppy 16. Slop.
Ugh.
I love it.
Ugh.
So these are 4 pretty tough matchups. McGurk's versus Helen Fitzgerald's. Humphreys versus Milo's. Amsterdam Tavern taking on Tam Ave. And O.B. Clark's goes up against Broadway Oyster Bar in our Inebriate. You must go to our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX. You must follow us, and then you must vote there.
Yes, thank you very much for voting and for texting because Ron Weeva 618 says, we do not always correct you. Well, actually, we don't always correct you.
Actually, you just did.
That's pretty good. Nice work. Nice work, everyone. So go to Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter and you can vote. And if you don't vote, you have no one to blame but yourselves. Meanwhile, if you don't sign up for the St. Louis Work Zone Awareness Run, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Don't say I didn't tell you. It's Saturday, April 25th at 8 a.m., and it's a ton of fun. The St. Louis Work Zone Awareness Run, it's an annual race that they have that is dedicated to promoting safety for road workers and raising awareness about work zone hazards. So the big thing is, if you see the cones and you see that you're going through a work zone, put your phone down, slow down. Let's make sure that the men and women who are making our roads safer so we can get home safely, let's make sure that they can get home safely. And also, you can run the 5K, you can walk the 5K, you can run or walk the 1 mile fun run. So bring the whole family. It's right there at the MoDOT headquarters at 141 and Highway 40, so centrally located. And it's a great price for a 5K. I know everything's going up in price these days. This one's pretty affordable. And again, you're just supporting the fine men and women at MoDOT. Just Google STL Work Zone Awareness Run.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's sunny out there, it's windy, and it is warm. We are currently looking at 74 degrees. Wow, we could hit a high of 87. The high right now, I mean, we may get to 85, but if we flirt with that high, that was set back in 1981, the high of 87. Tonight, cloudy and warm. Some strong thunderstorms could bring hail and damaging winds, so watch out for that. A low of 62.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
McKelvey Homes is breaking ground on something new in O'Fallon, Strawberry Farms. When McKelvey builds something, they do it right. Visit McKelvey Homes to schedule a tour at Strawberry Farms in O'Fallon. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today and move up to McKelvey.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Ron, you were recently in Chicago. You flew home. And if I'm correct, maybe you drove. Well,
This time I drove,
you drove
home. Yeah.
But you've flown home.
I flew home from Reagan.
Did you fly Southwest?
I flew Southwest, yes.
All right. So I don't know how I've missed this over the years. And 314-436-7900. My brother brought this up. He recently flew back from a work trip. He was at Terminal 2, and the baggage claim for Terminal 2, you go down, or even just ground transportation, you go down the escalators.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the escalators, there's a giant sign that says, "Are you happy to be home?" for a divorce lawyer.
Jeez.
How genius is that? That's terrible, but kind of genius. Here's a picture of it. Are you right here, Ron? Are you happy to be home? Flat rate divorces.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Flat rate divorces?
Listen, divorce is not a laughing matter. I get it. It's really sad. But I'm just saying, if you are a divorce lawyer and you have your big face and the question, are you happy to be home, plastered on the wall right before a baggage claim? Because apparently that is, I don't know if it's the number one catalyst for a divorce, but travel, people going on vacation and being happy and then coming home and realizing they don't want to go home
Oh, God.
is like number.
She's going to be there, isn't she?
It's terrible. Don't get mad at me, people. Have a little fun. But like, it's kind of genius, right?
Oh, God. She's going to be in the kitchen, sitting at the table,
So I just
looking at our expenses.
I feel like if I were a divorce lawyer, I would have my advertisements at every baggage claim. You are just in Terminal 2 going down the escalator. Are you happy to be home? Question mark. Tell me that's not genius.
I love it. Oh, God. No, I'm not. Oh. What's his name again?
It says flat rate divorces.
flat rate.
His name is Mark Hafner.
Mark. You know what? I
Mark-
think I
Mark-
did. You know what?
Mark
I-
Hafner.
Okay, that did occur to me. Yes, I did see that. And I don't know if I was thinking of something else and I got distracted, but I should have noticed it.
Oh my gosh.
I should have put it together that's really funny.
A 314 text in. I didn't even know this. Says Bill McClellan apparently wrote about that divorce lawyer's poster in the airport just a couple of weeks ago. So I wonder if it's new. If Bill McClellan just wrote about it, maybe it hasn't been there for years because I had never noticed it. But my brother came home and he's like, "This is a great advertisement. It's terrible but hilarious."
Oh, God.
Because people, there have to be some people who are thinking that.
Yes.
You know it.
Absolutely. Hey, why do you always take the latest flight possible? Why do you get in at midnight? God, that's.
I just stay home this whole week with the kids while you're out gallivanting in San Francisco.
Oh, God. I love that so much.
Anyway.
But if you're going through marital problems, I'm very sorry. I don't want you to have to deal with that, but
Oh, whatever. You're the one where, unfortunately, KMOX has decided that you winning the lottery and leaving the wife that you don't have is the best description of our program because that's the Chris and Amy show advertisement these days.
Is it the promo?
Yes.
This is me telling you to leave your family. Do we have any say in those promos?
No, we don't have any say. It's like I think if you win the lottery, leave her. What if she's a problem?
Well,
and you're like, and I said, you have paperwork. And you're leaving a wife you don't even have. Anyway, that's the promo.
that's great.
I'm stuck with this. This is why when you get fired, I'll get fired. Because it's guilt by association.
No, no.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, you're probably right.
Anyway.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy.
Speaking of Chicago.
Yes. How about Mizzou? And you're like, what? You just said Chicago. Yes.
Right.
Mizzou is having one hell of a marketing run here. And let me tell you, first of all, what they have done.
Okay.
So Mizzou, I don't know how many people know this. I think if you're a student at the University of Missouri, you probably have a good idea of this. There are a lot of Mizzou students who are from the Chicago area. And conversely, there are a lot of people who graduate from Mizzou who move to the Chicagoland area. And evidence of this is there used to be this bar, and it's only gone because the owner of the building wanted to move all the bars out and make it a retail space. But there was a place called Sedgwick's, which was in Old Town / Lincoln Park. And it was the Mizzou, Cardinals, Blues, St. Louis sports bar. And it was, if there was a playoff game going on, Sedgwick's was slammed, just absolutely packed. If Mizzou was playing, the place was absolutely packed. It was just a really, really cool spot. Well, there is going to be this summer, for the first time ever, a Mizzou night at Wrigley Field. in Chicago.
And
July 20th is Mizzou night. So they are giving away, and if you buy the special ticket, it's a game against the Tigers. And it is Monday, July 20th. They are giving away a new era college cap. And it says Chicago in cursive with the Mizzou Tigers logo. And it's in black and white. It's a white cap. On the back, it says Chicago Cubs. So there are apparently enough Cubs fans in Chicago that they can have, or enough Mizzou fans in Chicago that they can have this night. And I think that is, I don't know how often you see a professional sporting team, because, you know, I know the Cubs and the White Sox, they'll do like an Illini night or Northwestern night or something like that. But those are colleges in the state. I've never really seen it where they have an out-of-state school featured in one of their college nights. I think that's really a huge win for Missouri.
So here's the thing. There's Mizzou night at Wrigley Field. And it is June. When is
July 20th.
July 20th.
Yep.
There is Mizzou night at Busch Stadium.
Yes. Yeah, they have one here.
But in September, Mizzou volleyball is playing at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go next. Eli Hoff reported this yesterday. Eli from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. September 6th, the Missouri Tigers women's volleyball team will play against Nebraska at Wrigley Field. It'll be nationally televised on Fox.
And that almost seems bigger to me. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it seems bigger to me than Mizzou night at Wrigley Field, because you're right, an out-of-state college. Have we had an Illinois night? Illini night at Busch Stadium?
At Busch, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Okay, they do.
But I mean, but the thing is, the difference is Missouri is so close to, you know, Illinois is so close to Busch Stadium. I grew up in Granite City, as you know. It took me 15 minutes to get to Busch. Chicago was on the opposite side of the state from where Missouri is. It takes a few hours to just get to Missouri.
Are you more surprised by Mizzou night at Wrigley than you are that the volleyball team's playing there? Again, I don't know if the volleyball team has played at Busch. I feel like I would remember that, but maybe it was a while ago.
Not that I remember.
Although the pushback, what's funny is I feel like Mizzou, some St. Louisans, I don't know if they're Mizzou alum, but some St. Louisans are saying, wait a minute. Why is Mizzou volleyball playing at Wrigley? Why do they get a nationally televised game? Shouldn't Mizzou volleyball play at Busch?
Well, here's the thing. This is what I mean, this is coming from Wrigley Field, and Chicago is the center of Big Ten sports. That's where the conference location is. The headquarters is in Chicago. The Big Ten network is there. This is a game that's going to be on Fox, however. Nebraska's in the Big Ten, and that's probably why this is happening. That's my assumption. I don't really know for sure. Now, here's one thing I do know. Nebraska volleyball, for some reason, has a massive following, and they get huge crowds. It was just a couple of years ago, their women's volleyball team sold out Memorial Football Stadium. That's where the Nebraska football team plays. They had 90,000 people in the building for that game.
Wow.
It was a volleyball game. For whatever reason, in their arena where they normally play, they sell it out all the time. So they have a huge following. I think they figure they could get quite a few people to come to Wrigley Field, and I would not be surprised if it is actually sold out.
Yeah, and I think in the Midwest, some of those big state schools in the Midwest are known for good volleyball.
Yeah.
Like it's a big deal. The sport is a big deal. And yeah, it will be a lot of fun. It's fun that it's nationally televised. I wish you could get the numbers on which number is greater, the number of Mizzou grads from anywhere who relocate to Chicago, or the number of Chicago area students who decide to go to Mizzou. I know both directions. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, and I know we've had one of my guys on, Mike Hall, who is at the Big Ten Network. He's their lead, or one of their lead anchors. Mike is from Chicago and went to Mizzou. And I think a lot of people want to go there for the journalism, the broadcasting program, because I know a lot of people that went through that whole thing. So that could have a lot to do with it. But I think it's a very cool thing, and it's great for Missouri. It's great for the university to get up there and get that kind of exposure.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you have massive exposure with sports, it drives interest into application rates and to people wanting to check out the university. For so many reasons, I wanted the St. Louis University Billikens to advance. Obviously, beating Michigan would have been insane. But if they had beat Michigan, I would want to see the number of clicks on the website, the school's website,
got a ton.
and
Yeah,
then the
of course.
applications the following year, because that would be so easy to track, and 100% it would explode.
Speaking of that, we are going to talk to Tamar Scher, reporter for KMOV. We will talk to her about Josh Schertz remaining at SLU. She does some sideline reporting for Billikens games. And also we'll talk Cardinals baseball with her. That's going to be at 11:30 here on KMOX.
And I'm embarrassed I missed that McClellan piece, but his headline is, "Welcome home to St. Louis. How about a divorce?"
This fits perfectly with DTF St. Louis.
It does.
Which is, by the way, I'm sure you didn't give it a chance. It's actually quite a good show. I just wish they got the St. Louis stuff right.
Erotic horror is not my...
It's not horror.
Thriller. Erotic thriller?
Thriller, yeah.
Is not really my genre.
No, you would not like this show, but it is very good. But they had a visual of the St. Louis Arch in the background last night. Or, it was last night, Sunday night. And the one leg of the arch is so fat, it doesn't look right. The proportions were, and I'm looking at it like, that does not look like the correct proportions for the arch. I have a bone to pick. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Did you see this? Is next.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 14th and 16th at Bartolino's Twin Oaks. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Find out if your retirement strategy is truly stress tested for today's economy. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, we want to encourage you to keep listening to our show, not only because it's a great show, and not only because Ranja's new theory that hanging out with losers makes you feel better about yourself.
It's not my theory.
Oh, that's right. It's the president.
It's President Trump's theory. And
That's
I have
right.
to tell you, I think he's hit a real grand slam with that idea.
You think he's onto something?
Oh, he's absolutely onto something.
So anyway, multiple reasons, but also because we like to give things away. And guess what? We're giving away, not now, somebody calm down, but we're giving away a pair of tickets to see Tom Papa at the Factory on
Papa.
September 25th.
He's got a podcast with a friend of the show, Fortune Famester. It's a Sirius XM show. And
He's all over the place.
Yep.
Anyway, so keep listening. And Matt, Matt, get ready because I know you've got some audio. But Ranj,
I do.
Do you know what was just put into the Australian audio archives as something that is culturally significant for the country of Australia? It's just recognized.
Does that have something to do with Crocodile Dundee?
No, better.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
The Democracy Manifest, guy.
A succulent Chinese meal.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
It has been immortalized in the National Film Archive in Australia. That was the voice of Jack Carlson.
Get your hand off my penis!
I have to say that every time I go through TSA.
Yes, I see that you know your judo well.
Jack Carlson passed away a couple of years ago.
He did in 2024 at the age of 82. But they said it shows that real voice acting and intonation can make an ordinary moment just spectacular.
Honestly, if you do want to have a little bit of fun, the next time you are at the airport going through security and it's your turn, just loudly exclaim,
Get your hand off my penis!
It's a good time.
And then if they do
It's a
take you
good
away,
time.
ask them why they're taking you away.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Y'all, get your hand off my penis. It's great to yell in public. The White House, did you see this, Amy? The White House the other day with a tweet. And the tweet says, are you curious how American farmers are benefiting right now or exactly how much each state has saved?
Yes.
Question mark.
Yes.
And the link is onlyfarms.gov. Your White House is making a little joke. Little play on words with Only Farms.
Are we sure that these are not sexy farm videos.
They are not, because you click on it and the first thing is a silhouette of the president.
Okay.
Telling you how much he's done for you as a farmer. He's really saved your ass. After he's put you in a bad spot, he's really saved you. Onlyfarms.gov. I mean, I'm not even going to be outraged about it. I'm just going to appreciate how dumb it all is for the rest of the term, because I just know this. If the other side had created an official government link, onlyfarms.gov, you know who would be talking about it all day and all night? Republicans. This is unbecoming of the president. This is unbecoming of the White House.
Yeah. It even took me a second to realize that they were trying to be OnlyFans.
That's what they're doing.
I know. And it shouldn't have taken me a second, but you just don't expect the government to make an OnlyFans pun. You expect us to.
Yeah.
You expect
Somebody
us to.
suggested you should have called it Corn Hub instead, which would have been a whole lot funnier.
Oh my gosh.
Missed opportunity.
That's pretty good.
Missed opportunity. That was a tweet from a random. I cannot take credit for that, but Corn Hub would have been really good.
Corn Hub is pretty good.
And I can't believe this White House didn't think of it. I mean,
Now I'm distracted because I'm thinking of all the different puns you could do. But Corn Hub is pretty good. Only Farms. I don't know. But do you have handy Ranj's, the one thing he agrees with the president on?
I believe I do.
Yes, I do agree with.
They have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better.
That's Ranj's.
It does.
That's his new
It really does.
social philosophy.
I sit around the table and I look at all the losers I'm with and I go, I am so much better than all of you. Makes me feel good.
Anyway, Ranj has always said that blowing out the candle of someone else really does make yours shine brighter, because now it's the only candle.
It's the only candle,
to
so
look
of
at.
course it does.
I know. It makes sense when you put it like that.
Okay, I mean, I can't believe it was even a debate.
There you go.
Anyway, sometimes the man, he gets it every now and then.
Well, we're going to continue our conversation on public transportation. We do want to hear from you, especially if you are old-timey public transportation. Ranj wants to bring back streetcars.
I want to bring back streetcars.
314-436-7900. Get your little phones ready to text in. So we're going to talk about that next. Plus, Tamar Scher, sports reporter for KMOV and Matrix Midwest, joins us at 11:30. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Ta-ta and farewell.
Okay, I have some really good news. While we do have the 0% a lot, we do have it on our regular products, because you will be unbelievably shocked, especially if you call me and I'll give you the straight up scoop on how much money you can actually save by if you spent $20,000 versus $10,000 on a system. The difference could be as little as, I don't know, let's just say, not to exaggerate, 5 cents. So be careful out there, and always remember your energy savings is based on your house. It is not based on the equipment. So common sense advice and help and guidance. Again, call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest, 314-293-2600. Again, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, that is bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
And actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. It's a windy day, 77 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. The White House responding to complaints about higher gas prices. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says, quote, when Operation Epic Fury is complete, gas prices will plummet back to the multi-year low as American drivers enjoyed before these short-term disruptions. President Trump, in a social media post today, called out allies for refusing to help secure the Strait of Hormuz and suggested those nations get their own oil and fight for themselves. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang spoke with the president this morning.
He did not give a timeline for how long the U.S. would remain in and around that strait, though. Of course, the reason why that matters is because the oil that is trying to get through there impacts the entire global supply of oil and gas prices, which includes the now $4 a gallon average here at home.
1,000 letters in opposition were sent to the St. Charles County Council about an ICE enforcement bill. Despite that, the council unanimously passed the measure, with County Executive Steve Ellman saying it's nothing new.
This is something we've already been doing, and this will simply allow us to do it better. Additional training will be provided for up to 10 of our officers. We've selected 4 of them already.
Ellman says on any given day, they have 20 to 30 undocumented immigrants in their jail, and they call ICE as required. He says it costs taxpayers $118 per day to house them in the jail. A St. Louis City man who was found dead by police yesterday has been identified as 23-year-old Cameron Willis. Officers found him after responding to a shooting in progress call about 1 a.m. Monday on South Broadway. The investigation revealed he was ejected from a vehicle that crashed at a nearby intersection, but investigators are still working to figure out why and when he was shot. From the KMOX business desk, steel production set to restart tomorrow in Granite City. Granite City Works starting up one of its 2 blast furnaces, neither of which has been used in the past 2 years. President of United Steelworkers Local 1899, Craig McKay, tells the Riverbender the mill used to employ about 1,300 workers. He thinks it could return to that employment rate.
Clouds and some sunshine, rather windy and very warm this afternoon with a shower and thunderstorm in places. The high 85. The record is 87, set in 1981. Mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of strong thunderstorms around. They can produce hail and damaging winds along with flooding downpours. The low 61. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and a little bit cooler with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. The high 74. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
The weather sponsored for you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. It is partly sunny, 77 degrees right now. Midwest winters take a toll on your garage door. Let Overhead Door Company of St. Louis perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. Just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Time to look back at the way we were with Chris and Amy on KMOX.
We really ought to bring back the trolley.
We did. It didn't work, and it destroyed businesses on the loop, and people get their bike tires stuck in the rails. I saw a man flip head over
Stuck in the
handlebars.
rail. Well, hold on. What do you mean stuck in the rails?
So the rail is cut right into the concrete.
What
So
ra-
there's
the
trolley
rail on the street.
in
Okay.
on Del Mar.
Yeah.
And so there's a gap on either side of the rail where the wheels plop in. And I saw a man go head over handlebars. No, it's not funny.
You did not see
I
it.
did.
You watched it
And
live?
you know what was amazing is I was on the phone with you on a different radio station at the time.
Really?
Yes. And I went, oh my gosh. And they're like, what? I was like, a man just flipped over the handlebar. It's not funny.
It is. That's really. You're just minding your own business. Like, this looks like a smooth enough street.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, so
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
what were we talking about? Oh, trolleys. So no, don't bring the trolley back on the one pedestrian friendly street we have in all of St. Louis, because we all agree St. Louis is too separated. We're all spread out. That's why we have our own little boroughs where, if you're in Fenton, you don't talk to Chesterfield, who doesn't talk to North County, who doesn't talk to South County, because we're too spread out. So why don't we, the one walkable stretch, which is the Loop, restaurants and stores and ice cream shops, anything you want at the Loop, concert halls, the Pinup Bowl. I think they have putt-putt now. All these things. We can walk there. That's where we're going to stick the trolley.
Well, I am going to go a different direction on this because I think we should bring back streetcars everywhere. Between the 1940s and the 1960s, they were basically phased out around the country, with the exception of a couple of cities. San Francisco famously is a very big streetcar place, or at least, bigger than others.
We all know this because of Rice Aroni.
And also, if you've seen The Rock.
Or watched Full House.
That's right. Have
At
you
any
seen
rate.
The Rock? Because one of them goes off the rails, literally, and slides
No.
down the street. Yeah.
At any rate.
Michael Bay. But I think that I think in this city, I would love for us to be a better public transportation place. And trolleys, I don't know if they are the most efficient way to do it, but it's effectively no different than having a rail system like the Metrolink, because there are places around the country where you have city streets and they have a Metrolink type train that goes right down the middle of the street. However,
Which I think makes it a streetcar as opposed to a train.
right,
Is that it's on the street.
right, but it looks like a train.
Because in Houston, it's so wild because they have the streetcar, and you're driving with the streetcar. It's wild.
So we should have them on streets like Grand. You know how we talk about how
Yes,
these
that's
streets they're way too wide because they were built for streetcars. Well, we got rid of the streetcars. How about we bring them back? How about we just bring those back so that you could travel east-west on a long street like Grand into the city, into downtown, and then back out. I'm sorry, north-south instead of east-west. And then you can just go back down south.
All joking aside, how serious are you with this?
I'm like more than half, because I really do think we would be a more attractive city to people from the outside. We talked to Matt Eisner, who was the Washington University student who rode the Metrolink from Shrewsbury all the way out to Scott Air Force Base. And what he said, he was on the train for something like 3.5 hours. Just he wanted to experience the whole thing and see what it was all about. And he is not from here. He's from the East Coast. He's from Maryland. And we talked about, does it make it more attractive to people from the outside? And I would think, yeah, it does. It does if you are looking at a place to move after you graduate college, for example. Do you want to stay near your home? Do you want to venture out and try another part of the country? There are almost, I don't know how many people, it's got to be close to zero, the amount of people I know who graduated from some other market and said, you know what? I want to move to St. Louis when I'm done. It just doesn't happen. And I'm not saying that public transportation is the only way to get us there, because clearly it's not. But if you have it and it's a good, robust system, it is another thing to look at. It is something that young professionals do pay attention to from other markets. They go, well, what kind of public transit do you have? Maybe I don't want to drive. Maybe I don't want to be stuck in a car all the time. I'd rather just take public transportation to and from work, or if I want to go do something else.
And it is a bit of a chicken or the egg situation in the sense that in the same way that we say downtown St. Louis needs to thrive, it's not good that businesses are leaving. It's not good like Fleischman Hillard, after being here for 75 years, is leaving downtown. That we always say, you can't be a suburb of nowhere. As the city goes, so goes the surrounding areas. And I would say in that sense, you can't have a train to nowhere. You do for public transit to work. And if you're thinking of it as concentric circles starting at the city and working its way out, you need to have businesses and nightlife and restaurants downtown so people have a reason to ride the train.
But here's the thing. This is legitimately a chicken or egg thing, because there isn't really any overwhelming research one way or the other that says, well, you got to have the people first, then you have the train cars, or then you have the public transit, or you have to have the public transit first, then the people come. Because you could look at it the other way, that if I'm going to open a business or a restaurant, do I want to be closer or live? If I just want to live somewhere, do I want to live next to public transportation where it's available? Because that might be the thing that decides it for you. Do I want to be close to a train line? Do I want to be close to, a bus stop or whatever it is? So it's really not. I don't know what the correct thing is, but it should be considered that having a better public transit system would make this area more attractive. It wouldn't be the only thing. We'd have to do other stuff too, but it would at least be one thing that does make it a palatable place to want to go live.
618 says, Chris, streetcars, why don't you concentrate on the potholes first? And I will say this, they are concentrating on the potholes. Those potholes are getting fixed. We saw Tucker was completely repaved. Down in Soulard area, they've been repaving streets as well. And so the city is working on the potholes.
Well, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yes, but also I just wanted to, even though
and-
Roger doesn't think I care about the city, I wanted to give the city credit for filling the potholes.
And if we had streetcars, you wouldn't have to worry so much about the damn potholes. You'd
You've
be in
got
the
both.
streetcar.
I
Right?
just hope we would be smart enough to navigate. I don't know if I would rather just, instead of building an entirely new system of transportation, I say let's try to excel with the MetroLink rather than building streetcars. And then also, I am still bummed about the trolley.
But it would be cute.
It would be cute. The trolley
Don't you
was
think of
cute.
On Grand especially, because that street was made for it.
Can they take the trolley
And that would slow
destroyed
traffic,
Delmar?
too.
It would slow traffic.
Yeah.
Can we take the trolley that destroyed Delmar for no reason and move that to Grand? Because as
Sure.
we know, the trolley is a 2-mile loop from the History Museum up and down the loop and back. Again, the only really great walkable street, or one of them, I should say, might be being facetious here, but it messed up the parking. And there were like 37 something businesses that closed shop just because it was such a hassle and they were putting the trolley tracks in. And it wasn't a need. Nobody said we need a trolley from the History Museum to Delmar, the Delmar loop and back. I mean, it didn't even go to the zoo. It was not a need, and it created a problem. So I'm frustrated with the trolley. But I think if we could make the MetroLink work, that would be great.
Robin is watching us on Facebook. You can do the same, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And she writes, we don't need trolleys. We need a transit system that serves all of the metro area. The MetroLink needs to serve South and West County. I have ridden the full length of the MetroLink, and unless you live in the city or near Central County, it doesn't serve you. And yeah, I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong at all.
They've talked about expanding it. I do think, again, they need to better their operations, which they have been this year. I think turnstiles was a huge deal because you have to keep the system safe for the people who rely on it every day. What you don't want to is encourage is people who have no investment in the MetroLink system, have nothing better to do. There are no turnstiles, so they just hang out on the trains. That was a huge problem. Eliminating that problem is a big step forward.
Yeah.
Having security guards, having people around, that's key. So again, another reason why you want St. Louis to thrive, because if the city is thriving, more people are using the MetroLink, and that proves that it is a tenable prospect to either expand it in one direction or another.
Otherwise, it just does feel like I'm going to use it. It's like a point A to point B kind of service. And if you're not very specifically going to point A or B, then it doesn't really help you. So like if you're not going to Busch Stadium from the Illinois side, then it's not much of a benefit. I mean, we used to, coming over to Cardinals games when I lived in Illinois, we would we'd park near the Casino Queen, and I can't remember if you had to pay to park or if it was free. I think it was free. You just take the train over down to Busch Stadium and then take the train back. It was super convenient, but that's the only thing you use it for. It would be nice if we had a system that you could take it to other places and avoid rush hour traffic and that sort of thing.
And I mean, people know this, but we talked about I-State Transit, which runs the Metrolink, but they also run the Metro bus system, and that does go all over the area. West County, South County, North County, downtown, Forest Park, everywhere. The bus system does go.
But you are still at the mercy of the traffic, which is the only problem.
No, you wouldn't. That system is more for practical day-to-day getting to work than it is for baseball games.
Well, I have been talking about the worst customer service hold music I had ever heard, and we played it a couple of years ago.
It's pre-Matt.
It was before Matt Pajeski was part of our show, and I thought it was gone forever. I found it yesterday. And in listening to it, I think that it was intentionally bad. I'm going to bring it to you. We will bring it to you when we come back. You're going to hear what we're talking about. Tamar Scher will talk Cardinals and Billikens, and Josh Schertz, who is going to remain the head coach of the men's Billikens team. She's joining us at 11:30. But before that, this awful hold music. You got to hear it. And you will when we come back on KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. Dr. Jean Wang, a WashU Medicine gastroenterologist at Siteman Cancer Center.
Our young onset colorectal cancer center focuses on the problems that younger patients might have. And we pay attention to things like fertility, support with trying to manage childcare and caring for older parents during that time. It's a great resource for these younger patients.
Visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions. So it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than $2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, Amy, I think that I have figured out what this is all about.
What is this?
This is the worst hold music in the history of hold musics. I cannot remember exactly who I called, and it was a couple of years ago, maybe 3.
I know it was a watch company.
It was a watch company, and I forgot why I was calling them, and I don't even know which one it was. I think I was ordering something. I don't know.
He has so many watches.
And I'm on hold waiting for a customer service representative. And the music, a lot of times the hold music is not very good. And usually you just kind of stick it out and you wait and whatever, no big deal. But this music was so terrible that I did hang up. And it was only a few minutes. I didn't wait that long, but it got to the point where I said, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
This is just so terrible. And it occurred to me, I think they've done it on purpose. I think they've done it so that you don't stay on hold to talk to customer service. So there are a couple of different options. You can put a bunch of pre-recorded messages like, hey, if you need to do this, why don't you try our website? Or if you are looking to do such and such, you can call this number. Like trying to get you away from a human representative, so that they can lighten the load on them, right? They're trying to guide you away from the phone call. Or you could do this.
Your call is important to us. A customer service representative will be with you shortly.
This is it. This is all it does. It's not a real song. It's just
the start over. I like.
It just noises.
I hear a melody.
How long could you withstand this?
This is the riff.
How much money would you need to stay on the line for however long it took? This is terrible. This is legitimately the worst customer service music.
Well, what kind of horn is that?
I don't know.
A tiny trumpet?
Tell me this isn't the worst you've ever heard.
It's pretty bad.
I'm positive they did this so you would just hang up.
Well, you're experiencing longer than normal wait times. Your call will be answered in the order it was received. Please stay on the line for
it's a new
further
song.
assistance.
No, it's even the same part. So this is psychological warfare because I do know that there are parks that deal with homeless people hanging out at the parks and sleeping in the parks, and there are communities that don't want that. You can't have the parks filled up with homeless people. I know they need a place to stay, but what they did, this was in Florida, they played Baby Shark on loudspeakers.
Okay. So it's funny.
That's a real thing. That I did not make this story up. They played Baby Shark on loudspeakers so that homeless people wouldn't sleep there.
It's funny you say this because I was with the old ball and chain, and we were in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, and we went to this place called Manny's Deli, which is a great deli. It's historic. It's been there for a long time. Really, really good. And across the street is a gas station. And the gas station outside has really loud opera playing. And she said, what is with that? And I'm like, you know what that's for? It's to get people to not hang out.
Yeah.
They want people to go away. Come in, get your stuff, and leave. Don't hang outside the gas station. And it's loud where you can't just get past it. Like you would have to say, all right, if you don't like the music, you'd have
The
to leave.
Murder Shell should have tried that. Have you ever gone to the Murder Shell? They knocked it down now.
Where's the Murder Shell?
It was in downtown West neighborhood. It was called the Murder Shell because
I don't
of all
remember
the
this.
stuff that went down there. I went there one time. I think something was going down. It was scary, but I did go there because I was out of gas, and but I think they have since they closed it in 2024. So I must have gone right before they closed it. But do you think if the Murder Shell had played loud opera music, maybe it wouldn't be called the Murder Shell?
Possibly.
It'd be called the Opera Shell. Probably.
Possibly. It's pretty
Nobody
impressive,
wants
though.
to hang out. Listen, even if you're a ne'er-do-well, even if you're up to no good, you can't hang out when there's loud opera music being played, right? It's not cool.
Well, I don't even know if it's that.
It's inconvenient.
It is very inconvenient. It's obnoxious. And then you know what? There was loud opera, and then we went in to eat, and we came out, and there was children's music playing.
Then that's what it is.
So they're
Yeah.
changing it up. So
What-
they're definitely doing it so people don't stay there.
What they could have played on full blast, which would have driven away everybody, would be this. I like the part
I
when it
need to
goes-
know. I need to know who composed
This part.
this.
That's the riff.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. We have a texter
That
who
part's
says,
not
"Is
bad.
that Chuck Manzoni?" Who's Chuck Manzoni?
Should I know who this is?
I don't know.
Yeah, Chuck Mangione. I think he's
Mangione. That's the
I'm
that's the
thinking of Luigi.
assassin.
No, there's a Chuck Mangione who's a trumpet player. He's famous.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It is Mangione. I knew it.
Yes,
I knew it.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
Chuck
it-
Mangione.
No,
He's
but
a-
is that his song?
I don't know.
Didn't he just? Am I
Yeah.
crazy or he died recently?
He died last year. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it was. Okay. Yep, there you go.
Someone claims that Five Guys Burgers blasts music in their bathrooms for the same reason. What's going on at Five Guys?
Well, first of all, Five Guys cost $8 million to
Yeah.
eat, and it's not even inflation. That place is just expensive.
That place was expensive before
my God.
anybody, before we were political.
Yeah, it's it's crazy.
But what is happening in the Five Guys bathrooms that they're
Well, people are probably just going in, hanging out, and having a nap.
in the Five Guys bathroom?
Maybe they are fixing to blow it up. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Because I know that there are some places, but it's not like a whole chain that has this reputation. I know that there was a White Castle in the area that was, I thought they used to call it the Cocaine White Castle. Or I know, but I don't know if it still has that.
Sometimes I feel like you're like, they call this place the Cocaine White Castle, and really it's just like your
Your-
uncle. Your uncle's the only one who calls it that.
Somebody please text in if you know what I'm talking about. Was there a Cocaine White Castle? 314-436-7900. I just find it interesting.
That hold music is designed to keep you away.
Yeah.
And I think we should make that our show open.
I do too.
Oh. How bad is this? It is the worst, right? Tell me if you think there is worse hold music than this, but I don't think there is.
This
It is a
pretty
Chris
good.
and Amy show. Tamar Scher will join us when we come back. We'll talk Cardinals. We will talk Josh Schertz, who has decided to stay in St. Louis as the head coach of the Billikens. And guess what it is? It is Dinger Tuesdays. That's right. Dinger Tuesdays, because big hits get even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel. Customers, that means you can choose your own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. How are you going to play your game? You have two options. The bet reset, which you can use on your wager and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if that bet loses. Or option two, a 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the boost, and if it hits, that's extra winnings at no extra cost. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use on your next MLB bet. Hey, you think Nolan Gorman's going to homer again? Well, he's plus 520 to do so tonight. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. FanDuel, an official partner of MLB. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
St. Louis is a baseball town, and the Gas House Gang talks Cardinals baseball. Ackerman, Ranji, Nicholas, and Claves bring informed opinions and real insight. Smart baseball talk from guys who truly know the game. And every Tuesday at noon, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Passion, knowledge, the best baseball talk in town. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon. We know baseball. KMOX. For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast. Available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
77 degrees right now, windy and very warm. The temperature approaching a record high of 87. Tonight, cloudy and warm. Could be some strong thunderstorms around, and those could bring hail and damaging winds. A low of 62. Weather sponsored by Artistic Decks.
Ready to hit a home run with your backyard? Call Artistic Decks. We're celebrating 25 years of A-plus service with massive rollback pricing. Get a professional custom-built deck for less. Hit it out of the park with Artistic Decks. Call 314-280-0821 today.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with Gloria Lou, your home sold guaranteed realty. Welcome back, Gloria. You know, for years now, you've been on KMOX helping families plan their next big move with your guaranteed sold program. For those planning to sell their home this year, what's your best advice?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing, inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my guaranteed sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, if you want a realtor who will guarantee results, call the one I trust, Gloria Lou, at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Tonight, the cards, the match. X.
Cameron Total Access 550. First pitch 645.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Alvarez puts the target down. The pitch is swung on and missed, and this game has come to an end. The Mets take game one of the 3-game series 4-2.
Sad baseball music.
I know Matt does that a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, they did lose. Cardinals have started the season. They are in their second series of 2026. And oh, baby, it's underway, isn't it? Tonight against the Mets, a 5:50 pregame, 6:45 for the first pitch. We know you're going to be listening to KMOX and the free Odyssey app to listen to the game tonight. But let's talk about this 2-2 start for the Redbirds. Tamar Scher, sports reporter at KMOV and Matrix Midwest, is with us. Tamar, how's it going?
Hey, guys. It's great to be on with you. It's been a while, but I'm excited to talk some Cardinals because what came from a very, very exciting opening weekend with a lot of firsts for these Redbirds, I think that you're now starting to settle in. We got a lot of baseball left, but there are definitely some encouraging things that we can talk about with this team.
I think one of the more encouraging things is that the Cardinals have been scoring runs. I know we can get to the pitching later, but the ability to hit home runs, to put runs on the board was a concern going into the season, and they've been doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, in their first 3 games, they were able to score 6+ runs. And I think that is an encouraging thing to see. You got multiple guys, 5 different guys able to homer, and you see the power. You see a guy like Jordan Walker gaining some confidence because of what he's seeing from his teammates, what he's seeing from J.J. Weatherholt, Alec Burleson, guys who are able to rally back. I think that was the important piece that we talked about in the first 2 games of the season is they were able to win in comeback fashion. So although getting down, allowing 6 runs in the top of the 6th in that first game, okay, well, then they can come back, punch back, and score 8 runs. So there are some encouraging things to see there. Of course, last night when Leahy's the starter, he gives up 4 runs, and then the Cardinals only had 5 hits. So you got to see some of that balance there. If your bats get hot, when it can come in timely fashion. And we definitely saw that in that first series against the Rays. Now just finding that consistency and more of it. But there are definitely encouraging things that we can talk about with these Cardinals bats.
Obviously, everybody's excited about J.J. Weatherholt and the start that he's had, and he has contributed a couple of different wins. He had a home run. He also had a walk-off winner this all happened in the first couple of games of the season. But just so far, what you've seen from him, what do you think?
Well, I think the most interesting point of it all is he's a young guy, but he's been able to win at different levels, and he has this calm composure. And that's something in his personality that manager Ollie Marmol liked to see from him. He told us that this is a guy who just comes in and is able to get to work and doesn't make the situation bigger. You think about having your MLB debut on opening day and you're batting leadoff, that's a lot of pressure for a young star and people looking at him. Could he be the savior? No, this is a guy who comes in and adds this energy that people can get excited about. There's clubhouse energy. I know that Cardinals post game was able to show us into the clubhouse a bit with the celebration of the team getting around J.J. Weatherholt and saying, okay, we love this guy. We love to see what he can do. Of course, getting the walk-off in his second MLB game. So there are encouraging things to see from him. And it's only the beginning. Now, I just really like to see when we're talking to him post-game just how level-headed he is. He doesn't make things too high. He just goes out and does his job. And, it's interesting, but it is a really exciting thing to see from JJ that he can keep that composure as young as he is.
How much I know as fans, or at least I can project what my emotions might be, onto players. And players will often say it's just the next game or the next batter. But how much does it matter that he was facing Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto and Bo Bichette and some of these huge names?
Yeah, I think that is the thing of it all. I mean, that's what we talked about with Ollie Marmol post-game as well about Kyle Leahy. It's, okay, he pitched the most innings in the majors last night as a starter for the Cardinals, and he gets his first start of the season against that lineup. And that's an intimidating thing, but how can you gain confidence from those moments is the big takeaway. How can you say, okay, it's inning by inning, have those conversations with your clubhouse, have those conversations with the pitching coach to make sure that you are in those positions where you can settle yourself down in those big moments. Of course, last night, not the Cardinals' day offensively to punch back like we had seen against the Rays, but that doesn't mean that they can't go ahead and do that tonight against this lineup if they start to show what they were giving us at first. But yeah, I think it is a real test when you face a lineup like the Mets have, and to do it so early on, you can start to see, okay, some different things, different challenges that you can work on, but you do it as a collective.
Tamar Scher is with us on KMOX. Let's move over to the Billikens because you worked sideline for many of the games here this past season. It was one of the best Billiken seasons we've seen ever, really. And Josh Schertz is an attractive head coaching candidate for a lot of other schools. Just recently visited with NC State. So what do you make of him ultimately deciding to stay with the Billikens, even after signing that extension?
I didn't have a doubt. And I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of sources to tell me that Josh is so happy here. I've talked to Josh himself saying he's so happy here in St. Louis. And this is what college sports are today. When we talk about professional leagues, this is the same thing that's going on where you kind of look to see, okay, what do other jobs have that I could want or that could be helpful to building the brand? I don't think for Josh Schertz, I think it's all about making sure that the Billikens are a competitive program year in and year out and doing everything in his power to make that happen for St. Louis. I know talking to him, he loves this place. He's loved the fans. He's loved to see how people come out and rally around an exciting brand of Billiken basketball that they saw last season and that they were able to create last season. And I think that, yeah, it makes sense that he is an attractive name that's being pulled around in the coaching carousel because of the success. Now, it's about looking at the full scope of things, but ultimately making the decision to grow St. Louis basketball. And that's definitely the decision he made. He is going to be with the St. Louis Billikens next season. And I think that he is very happy with what SLU was able to provide him and what confidence they were able to give him when making that decision, because ultimately there is a reason why he did commit to saying, I want to be here. And he's been consistent. He's always been a loyal guy every place he went. So I think it's going to be another exciting brand of Billiken basketball. Yes, you don't have a Robbie Avila anymore, but with what this coaching staff was able to bring in and the transfer portal from last year, I think it only continues to grow because now they have that national resume out on display for other players that they might be able to pick up or retain from the transfer portal and in their current roster.
It's been an emotional roller coaster for the St. Louis Blues, and out in San Jose last night, Adam Gaudette scored with 21 seconds left, and the Blues lose to the San Jose Sharks 5-4, which is pretty significant because we kind of went from not having much hope that the team would make the playoffs to them being the hottest team in the NHL in March, and with a chance last night to leapfrog over a couple of teams in that playoff hunt. So this one, Tamar, really, it hits hard just when you were starting to get some hope.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker. And there are 9 games left. We have the Friday game on First Alert 4 that is going to be pivotal. This is a really important road trip for the Blues. And I think what has been so encouraging to hear and to see from this team over the last couple of games, just all of March, really, I want to say, is that they are hungry. They're playing for each other. It's the young guys stepping up and finding that confidence, coupled with the veteran leaders having the right voice, having the right way to rally this team together. Everything is kind of working like we saw last year at the back half of the season, where we saw the Blues make the playoff push. Now we're seeing them again try and do that. Of course, there are 9 games left, nothing solidified. They're only a couple points back. But to your point, Amy, a lot of things have to go right when you drop a game like you did last night against the Sharks. Of course, I'm not going to say it's over now, because the fight that they're putting in is super, super encouraging. Theo Lindstein getting his first NHL goal 10 games into his NHL career. I mean, those are things that are super encouraging to see guys playing together at the right time in this way. But this is something that we want to see stay consistent, get over the hump, get some of those wins to hopefully will yourself into that position. But they still have a lot that needs to go right if they are going to find themselves in the playoff spot.
Tamar Scher, as always, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us again today. And we will expect you to be back. When are we going to have her back, Matt? In like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4.
Call
and,
me.
morning. Yeah, you're on call.
Call me anytime. I'll say yes. I appreciate you guys so much. I always love chatting with you.
Thanks, Tamar.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Tamar Scher, KMOV, Matrix Midwest, with us here on KMOX. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. We have baseball tonight on this fine radio station. 5:50 pregame, 6:45 first pitch, 2 of 3 against the Mets. Andre Palante is getting the start for the Cardinals tonight. Also, we have a pair of tickets to give away, and we are giving them away to caller number 7 to the contest line. Don't start calling now. You don't even know what they're for. You don't even know what they're for.
But it is now.
Comedian Tom Papa has a show coming up at the Factory September 26th, and Live Nation has given us a pair of tickets to give away to you. Tom's in that podcast with Fortune Famester. Pretty good show. And now you have an opportunity to see Tom live. Caller number 7 to the contest line at 314-955-1120, 314-955-1120. It is the Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Oliver Marmol joins the station at 12 for the Gas House Gang. He's back for Ollie Tuesdays on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
GLP-1s work, and STL weight loss injections can help you navigate the process. Their amazing staff is here to work with you to begin a new weight loss journey. The first month is just $199. For more information and to schedule an appointment, head to STLweightlossinjections.com.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for FanDuel Sportsbook, which is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And with baseball season here, the big hits are going to get even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on Fan. So customers like me, we get to choose our own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. And it's all about how you want to play your game, right? You have two choices. Option one is the bet reset. Use this on your wager. You get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. It's just that simple. There's no lose. Option two is the 50% profit boost. So you make your bet, you activate the profit boost, and if it hits, it's extra winnings at no extra risk or cost to you. So you make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use on your next MLB bet. I've used both of these features. They're fantastic. I really like the profit boost because I like a little extra win without the extra risk. Just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to join me and choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. And FanDuel is an official partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and we're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and it might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best. Is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is BartInman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Every time someone calls and requests a meeting with you, I always schedule it for March 31st.
Why?
Because I didn't think March 31st existed.
Today is March 31st.
I know.
So then how many meetings do I have today?
93.
Congratulations, Jake from South County, who won tickets to see Tom Papa. Don't worry, though. There will be opportunities later in the week to win those tickets. Like even tomorrow, in fact. So, way to go, Jake.
Nice job.
By the way, when you call KMOX to win tickets and you're put on hold, you hear this. Oh, no.
Your call is important to us. A customer service representative will be with you shortly.
So just think about how badly you want those free tickets. Do you want them bad enough that you got to sit through that?
Can I say something unrelated to anything, but it's been bothering me all day?
I suppose you're going to. Do I have a say, really?
Probably not. Listen, the pants I'm wearing, I hate them. The problem is, when I bought these pants, I felt like they fit, but they've stretched out. And all day, and I ran out of time. I couldn't change my outfit before I left for work because it was just out of time. There's no way to fix the situation. It could not be rectified. The best way I can describe what I'm wearing right now is if Gap collaborated with Sinbad. That's the outfit I'm wearing. Those are my pants.
So your complaint is that you don't like the way you've dressed yourself.
Yes, and it's bothering me. Listen, I'm an emotional dresser, so I could never get a tattoo. I can't commit, you know? Have you ever put on something and you liked it when you left the house, and then hours later you think, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen? These pants are too big. I know that jeans stretch, but these are trousers, and I've never had trousers stretch. They're like balloon pants. What do I do now?
Well, keep it to yourself. That's one. Start there. And then go home and change your pants in an hour.
I will never wear these pants again.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
And you know what? They're a little pilled.
Okay. Well, this is a good complaint.
Okay, what do you want to say?
I don't have anything to complain about right now, believe it or not. I saw really this has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Just like you did. This is a very good tweet.
Okay.
About CBS. And I read this to you yesterday. I just think it is very, very funny, and I want to bring it up.
CV or CB?
CBS,
Okay.
the network.
Okay.
And this texter says, or it's a tweet. It says, every CBS show is called something like Police Cop. It stars an actor you haven't thought of in 15 years and gets 75 million viewers per episode, which is true.
Police Cop.
What's the show that St. Louis and Scott Bakula is on? Is it an NCIS?
What?
I'll look it up.
Scott Bakula.
From Quantum Leap?
From Quantum Leap.
I loved that show. It's one of my favorite shows.
NCIS New Orleans.
Told you. There are 15 NCIS shows.
There are. Well, isn't there NCIS Special Victims Unit? Or is that, or is that Law and Order?
Law and Order. There's an SVU.
NCIS SVU is too many letters for
Wait,
on CBS.
I walked in when I was living in Chicago. I walked into the middle of an NCIS. I think it was NCIS. They were filming something, and they had the tracks on the street, and they were filming. And I'm like, I go, can I walk through here? And they were like, yeah, it's fine. I was in the background. I don't know if I made the cut though.
That's funny that you say that. I've done that one other time, and I think it was when I was in one of the times I was in New York City.
Yeah.
And they're just always filming, and I guess you're part of the crowd. I don't think they were filming.
Wouldn't it be so great now that we've got these Missouri tax credits for film? Wouldn't it be so great if we're just walking about and then suddenly we walk into a TV show set or a movie set?
Or you just happen to
It's just it's a fact of life here in St. Louis that you're walking. Oh, there's a movie going on right over here. Wouldn't that be cool?
That you happen to see your house or your school on a show, which of course will not be the case with DTF St. Louis because they're not filming anything in St. Louis.
I've seen my place in the background of a Valentina Gomez video. Does that count?
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's better. That is so
oh man,
much
do I
better.
miss that lunatic? We need Valentina Gomez to come back to Missouri and run for office. We just don't have enough crazy people in this town.
That is actually, you should screenshot that and frame it.
Valentina Gomez. Spectacular fool. All right. Have a great rest of your day. It's a Tuesday, so you know what that means. Coming up next is Oliver Marmol. He is the manager of the Cardinals, and he is with us on the Gas House Gang every Tuesday starting today. If you missed anything, though, you've got to go back and get the podcast, Odyssey app, or wherever you get your podcasts, whatever interviews or segments or full show. If you want to listen to any of it, it is right there for you to download. And we will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock on 104.1 FM KMOX. The Gas House Gang is next. Manager Oliver Marmol joins the show when we come back.
I think she reported an Oompa Loompa.
Time now for today's